So my advice and guidance to those villages who anticipate that they may end up having a dispute over a boundary, our guidance is for you all to engage with your fellow village councils and try your best to come to an agreement. Engage in a memorandum of understanding, and from there, it can be formalized by the minister. There would be no need for this commission to be activated. And the establishment of this commission is certainly not an incentive for villages and community members to build strife and contention where there never was one. This commission is here to serve a purpose. And even though the reasons may vary, the commission is committed to producing a well-sounded recommendation to the minister on these issues. Just to give you all a bit of a background and the timeline that we're working on, under the legislation, we were mandated to complete this entire process in 6 months. And the minute we began, we realized that 6 months is far too little time for us to do a proper gathering of information and to engage with the proper village councils. Section 49 of the Village Councils Act is what establishes the government's mandate to first consult with village councils before it makes any decision. This is a part of that process. Back in October, around the end of October, when we were formally initiated, established, and acknowledged by the ministry, we invited all concerned village councils, we invited the entire village council to a meeting with the commission where we explained the process that we hope to engage in. And I will let you all know that this is a very historical process because this is the first time that the commission has been activated under the legislation. So there was no rule book for us to go by. And because of that, we saw it very important and urgent for us to get standing orders drafted and formalized by the Attorney General's ministry. And I'm very happy to report that about 2 weeks ago, our standing orders were finally gazetted and they are in effect. So that is available for your reading. We invited the village councils, briefed them off on our expectations and the timelines moving forward. We invited each village council to make their submissions in writing with whatever proof or information that they may want the commission to consider in support of their submissions. Some village councils were able to meet the deadline, others asked for an extension, and we accommodated those extensions. When the substantive submissions were received, we then exchanged it with the opposing village council to give them an opportunity to rebut what was put forward to the commission. And we have received those rebuttals. So now we're at our penultimate step in the process, which is to engage with you all and get whatever information may have been missed out of those substantive submissions from the village councils. So once again, thank you all. We hope to have a very exciting and engaging session. And Mr. Man, back to you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Chair Lady and Chief Magistrate, for that overview. I now call on the Commissioner and representative on the Ministry of Natural Resources, Mr. Ilan Torres, for a presentation on maps.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for having us here. I'll just gonna give you a brief description of the area. We refer to geographical area of interest, the contention area, geographical area. As Mr. King had said before, this map is not the commission that came up with this map. The data put together on this map is what both villages have presented to the commission. With all titles, leases, wall maps, and stuff like that. So as well, we did some site visits, as you can clearly see here, pointed with the green dot. Those site visits were done along with both village council as well. All right. So we're talking about an approximate area of 970 acres between the two villages, starting at the junction of the city road here, the northernmost point, and then going all the way to City Point, southernmost point. And we're talking about an area of 970 acres and 2.7 miles from the northernmost point to the southernmost point. From the west to the east, the widest point is approximately 1.7 miles. So that's the area of interest that we're talking about. This is the road. This is Hopkins wetlands, the protected area here, and then it goes all along City River, totaling to 970 acres. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a definitive boundary here. It's just the area of contention, right? And this map as well was prepared only for the use of these sessions and for the commission, right? So the data put together here is for use of the commission, right? Well, I would want to emphasize on some couple of things here. The map does not represent a final legal determination of any village boundaries. Absolutely none. It does not confer, alter, or extinguish any rights, title, interest, or jurisdiction of a land as well. So I want to be specific on that. Right? So we have two maps on the wall there. One shows the entire area of Hopkins portion of the city, and then the other one is the area of contention. And we have some labels on it too, so that you can familiarize yourself which area we're talking about there. We have the names of some resorts, Boom Creek, so that I'm pretty sure that you guys are familiar with it, right? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, again, data presented there is what you guys provided to the commission. And I was tasked to put that map together for the purpose of this hearing and the commission. That's about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Torres, for your presentation on the maps. And now we are about to commence the most engaging and interesting part of tonight's community forum. But before we begin, I want to express my appreciation, and of course, on behalf of the commission, because we are here for you, we express our appreciation for your presence tonight. All right. We certainly did probably not expect this crowd, but I am so pleased on a Friday evening, a very warm Friday evening, for you all to show up. It certainly shows your interest and your focus on tonight's discussion. So the purpose, reiterating what the directors and chair lady had said, the purpose of tonight's meeting is to hear directly from you regarding concerns related to the village boundaries. This is an opportunity for you, whether you wish to share historical information that has been passed down through generations, research or documents that may assist the commission, your personal experiences, or simply your thoughts, your views, and feelings about the boundaries of this village. Your contribution tonight is what matters. Every perspective helps the commission better understand the issues before it. And this is important because 2 weeks ago, the commission heard from members, villagers in Placencia and St. Bite during these same public consultations. And I am pleased, like the commission, to share that those discussions were productive, they were very engaging, they were respectful, and they were passionate. We observed open and thoughtful participation, and what was shared was extremely beneficial for the commission. Of course, tonight, we anticipate and welcome the same level of participation from Hopkins. We know that the issue is important, and we expect that you will have strong feelings, strong views, which is perfectly welcome and expected. What we do ask is that, like the preceding consultations, we similarly engage in a healthy, organized manner so that everyone has the opportunity to be heard. So my role here tonight is to help guide the discussions so that it runs smoothly and so that, and very importantly, that the commission is able to grasp the information from you. But before we begin, let me just highlight a few, I'd say, governing principles that I want us to just adhere to while we engage in the discussion. Let's allow one person at the mic or one person, one speaker at a time. And because of the time constraint, I think there's a time frame that was 8:30. Okay, so we're looking at an hour and a half time frame for the public engagement. If we can allow one speaker per round, in other words, if you have, if there's contribution that you want to share, maybe just take a full note of it and then say it in that that opportunity so that there's other persons can hold the mic as well. Also of note is that sometimes, as we say, we may disagree with a speaker. We can disagree, but we don't have to be disagreeable tonight, right? Let us focus as well on the issues. I know that there is so many community issues that might be at hand, but the commission is tasked within a certain scope, and we want to confine the discussion, your contribution, to just issues relating to the boundaries dispute. And of note too is the commission might be very limited in terms of answering questions. So if there's any maybe point of clarification regarding their scope, their roles, they might be open to have that response for you. But again, their response might be very limited if you're asking opinionated questions or questions relating to the dispute, right? Emphasizing, the goal tonight is not for us to argue, but it's for us to hear from you, hear your voices, hear your contribution, so that the commission may take that into extreme consideration. We established the time frame. We said 8:30. And also, just a reminder, when you come to the mic, if you can state your name, right, just so that in the event the commission might want to respond to you, they're able to respond to using that name. And then there's a 2 to 3 minutes time frame. I think that was kind of what we used in the other community discussions. That was sufficient enough. So let's try to restrict our contributions within 2 to 3 minute time frame so that the commission may continue their engagement after this session tonight. Alrighty, and with that said, then we want to open the floor. We want to hear from you. There's a mic center of the hall here. Feel free to line up. Feel free to start sharing your contributions. Do we have any? Alrighty.
As long as possible. That's another 15 minutes added to the hearing.
All right, in the interest of time, while we're experiencing the technical difficulties, we'll use this mic.
Test. Testing. Testing. All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Alex Norberto. I am the National Governor Council's president. All right. So for guests here who don't know, sorry, the NGC has 12 branches, 12 executives, 12 presidents, and a national president. I am the national president. Now, that being said, we, NGC, as far as our MOU with the government goes, is the legally recognized body that represents Garifuna affairs, Garifuna people. Now, my question and issue is that the NGC, first and foremost, was not brought into this conversation as the leader or as an equal partner. We were relegated to respond, for example, through the village council, right? And the MOU that we've signed with the GOB or the government of Belize states very clearly that we represent everything Garifuna related. So I want to hear from the commission if they are aware of this MOU with GOB and if they are aware of NGC's role as it relates to Garifuna affairs, which includes territorial rights, customary rights to our territorial spaces or our traditional spaces. That's one. Two, again with CNBite and our other traditional Garifuna spaces, which will have the same issues, particularly Barranco. My question is, why will it start with CNBite and City? I don't know who brought the cases for City and CNBite, but my question is, and my sense is, it is more an economic situation or economic problem than anything else, because we have the same problem in Barranco, but nobody's talking about Barranco and Midway. So that is just my concern. So how are we going about, because we have all the other villages who are not demarcated. Apparently we only have 2 that are demarcated. Why are we starting with Garifuna spaces? Is this, and it was clear in City's submission that this is an economic situation. They are targeting Hopkins traditional land because of the economic value. Right? So these are the questions that I have, and I will say pointedly here that the NGC will not sit by and allow Hopkins to be taken advantage of or any of our communities. And I also want to confirm that the commission received my submission, because they said to me that I have to go through the village council. I have a problem with that because the MOU says clearly we are the legally recognized body to represent Garifuna. Hopkins is a Garifuna village. This is a Garifuna space, this is Garifuna territory. So it starts with us, NGC. Right? So I need to know that the commission received our submission from NGC. And if they didn't, I just want to make it clear that it is also embedded in Hopkins' submission, because we are working closely with Hopkins and with CNBI to ensure that they are well represented and our contribution is embedded in their submissions. So those are my questions.
Thank you so much, Mr. Norberto, for your contributions and the questions. And I am sure that the commission is taking note of those concerns.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Marlon Yunes, mostly known as Chatwe, Aligla le abi yule boligin yule. Nugele tiba gulis ituma Karuba. I am Gulis's blood and Karuba's blood. Grandpa Weka is my grandfather also. I'm blood of Grandpa Weka. First, I want to say thanks for the opportunity to the Commission and whosoever involved, National Garifuna Council, Chair Lady. Thanks for attempting to solve this boundary issue. But my question is the Commission and the Minister have legal authority over demarcating or appointing indigenous people boundaries? Is that a legal right of the Minister? Thank you, sir. Now, this claim with City River over boundaries is mainly financial, as the Mr. President, NGC President said. It's a financial thing and recognition because Mahid City, right? It's a financial thing and recognition thing. And then City River need access to resources that Hopkins have been enjoying. And to me, that's some of the basis of this claim, right? Next thing is that the violation of indigenous people territory. Ever since this government moved its boundaries and lied to us, talking about Garinago came to Belize, Hale, where the boundary was at Sibun. Belize came and covered Garinago in 1859. Who came to whom? It was Belize that came to us, which means Belize come and try to take away our territory. That's our territory. Grandma Belize secured that for us. Correct. Now, I know time is short, I'll be short. Now, with the submissions being made for the next 2 weeks, I'm 100% clear the Village Council and the National Garifuna Council have given you all the facts. Anything you get other than that will be, I don't know, but the facts are in your hands, Commission. The facts, you have them. Don't try to us right now. Because whatever information you have is the information you need for the minister or whosoever will illegally give us our boundary. So work with that. And this matter must go further. Because like I said, it is an illegal act for the minister to determine indigenous people boundaries. This problem must be solved by the court, and it must be final after that, because we know where our boundaries are, and nobody should dictate to us where our boundaries are. Yeah, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. So please stop the violation. We don't want no more harm. Stop the harm. All these land concession, all these properties and all this that our people are proud of. Let me tell you people, those are illegal property titles, okay? Our territory is communal land. No property should be inside communal land. It is our land. We decide. Self-determination is our right. And we should live by that. We decide who own what. Anyway, I'm not lying there, so I'm in home. Thanks for everybody. Thanks for the time.
Wow. Yes, good evening, everybody. Commission, thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Maurice Herrera. I'm the owner of Daifa Garifuna radio station. And again, it's the only Garifuna radio station in the entire world. And it started right here because I'm a man of the soil from Hopkins Village. Hopkins now. I'll be brief. I'm a bit emotional. I want to take it out of my system right now. For both speakers before me, you're right. Our territory has already been established. This is just a game that the government is trying to play with us. And the commission knows it as well. It's just a protocol. This is entirely economic. We never have no problem with our neighbor City River. Never. Yeah, we the are good. Right, good. We never ever. So as soon as the developers come in our territory, as soon as the big resorts come in our territory, here comes the ones that the developers are instigating this. City River not got no money for fight with a court. Where do you think the money is coming from for them to try to take this issue up? They will take City. But behind the scenes, my people, there are instigators behind this that don't want us to prosper. They will try to take with land. We already have this. I'm gonna take one more minute. Look at the boundary. It's established. We are seagoing people. Nowhere city is on a beach side. Nowhere. It's impossible. But they see the value of our land. The developers and the investors. You will see them come here talk on our behalf. Because everything they said is for their pocket and for the City River only have me for 4 people. And what I mean by that is by 4 families. 4 people in a City River. And 2 dogs. That's it. So why the hell, respectfully, not in a anger, I try to take the thing out of it. Must magistrate understand what we're trying to stop you. But the thing is, our land is been established. Let's continue with the protocol. That's what all this is. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello, good evening. My name is Josh Coleman, to everybody that knows me, and those that don't know me. Hey, yeah, Lisani Gafi, all right? Yeah, retired operative, I'm here. First off, thanks everyone on behalf. My name is Joshua Coleman, okay? Yeah, I was born here in Belize, okay? Yeah, and I'm a proud Garifuna. So, first and foremost, thank you to the Ministry of Rural Transformation, everybody involved, everybody that takes this on, Chair Lady. I applaud your efforts, all right? That is leadership, leading from the front, okay, with results. So, I want to ask a few questions because what's done is already done, and there's nothing much we can do about it besides just going through the legal processes. Understand that, my people. All the barking is great support. However, understand that there's going to be a legal process that's going to have to take place to revert whatever was already done. Okay? So be patient. I'm not going to touch much more about the economical part. You guys hit that already because now the question is, when it comes to the economical generation or the revenue generated from that area that is being claimed, is Hopkins and the Garinagu people, are we getting reimbursed for that, for the development of our community? So that's something I would like to ask and, have on the vote or whatever about on that part. Now, without saying much, with the history of this beautiful country, Belize. Okay. With the history of this beautiful country, Belize, when it comes to land and properties boundaries. Okay. Will history be taken into account when it comes to decision making and the final decision making on this boundary situation? Because circumstantially, everyone knows that, yes, Hopkins is a fishing village. Since I was a kid, I remember growing up when my dad took me fishing at 5 a.m. and we had to go all the way to that point back there, that whatever city point, quote unquote. There was no City River people going. No, they take their river wherever they go. All right. So now, will history repeat or history be taken into account in making these decisions to understand and give us our property back? We rightfully own those delineated areas that they claim it. So, will that be taken into account as far as history and not so much economical growth? Because this really is thievery. Okay. As we applaud the efforts carried out by the situation, all right, I commend you guys for your involvement in it. Now, what is going to be the end result of this, and what are we trying to accomplish? With all the legalities in place, with all the regulations and rules in place, knowing the history, and also with indigenous people rights. I'm not trying to be political or go into all that. However, what's taking place is wrong. Hence the reason why the chair lady and everyone else involved took action instead of just talking, because it's wrong. All right. So the question is, what are we trying to accomplish? When, what, how? That's my time. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Coleman.
Good night, everyone. Madam Chairman and distinguished commissioners, welcome. Madam Mistress of Ceremony, Brother King, Senator. I am Conrad Lewis, born in Hopkins, grew up in Hopkins, taught in Hopkins. I was Village Council Chairman of Hopkins, all sorts of things. I want to ask 3 questions first. One is, when Mr. King stated that the minister will make the final determination based on the recommendation of the commission to the minister, I want to clarify that by letting you know that the minister also has to abide by the law to make a decision. There are laws that will guide the minister to arrive at a decision in relation to this manufactured, baseless, and ridiculous claim by City River. Secondly, Mr. King mentioned that the line between Hopkins and City River is blurred. The vast amount of empty space between the 2 communities speak volume of the unfounded and the baseless claim of City River that there is no contiguity between City River and Hopkins if that road was not built to connect the 2 communities. Common sense dictates that there is no way, shape, or form that City River can claim ownership or traditional rights to those lands. There are certain factors that prohibited City from doing that. One, before the advent of outboard motors, it was literally difficult or impossible for City River people to access the coast. In those years where it rained considerably, the current of the City River made it very, very difficult for them to paddle up the river. So they subsisted, and so right around where they were, as primary school, no, maybe my first year in high school, we attempted one day, because we had a project as young people, we want to go up City River to cut some wild cane to undertake a project. And it was about 10 of us boys. We had to turn back because of the current. We couldn't arrive at our destination, so we returned empty-handed. So that in itself prevented City River from having access to the coast. Secondly, the wetland between the 2 communities. that wetland is so it's so difficult to traverse that they could not even venture through that wetland to come to the coast. So what happened is that they stayed where they are because they couldn't access the coast. Now they are using Weber as their point of reference to lay their unnecessary, unfounded claim to our land. Weber got those lands as a colonist. The English colonialists at that time, because they were at constant dispute with the Garinagu, when the Garinagus challenged them all the way from St. Vincent, and they came here, they consistently tried to marginalize the Garinagu people. They gave the land to English people and so on, so as to undermine the effort of the Garifuna people to get lands and develop themselves. However, because Belize's constitution provides for the protection of indigenous rights, and because our constitution provides for indigenous rights and so on, the minister will be obligated to follow the law. And if we are not satisfied with the minister's decision, we know what to do next. Finally, because of the paucity of time available, finally, Madam Chief Magistrate, you mentioned that the commission will make recommendations to the minister, and based on the recommendation, the minister will make decisions. But when you make recommendation, you'll also be influencing the minister's decision. So I thought that we would have prepared a report of all the things that took place and so on, and presented to the minister. Then he makes the final determination based on the facts that we present to him. That is how I excel. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis, for your contribution. Okay, so there's a line. So there's two parallel lines. Can we have where? Okay, so you have a line, and yeah, they were there. She was before you. She was there. Okay, all right. Okay, can we have persons stand in the line in the middle, please? Yeah, so it's a bit clear for everyone to see who the upcoming speakers are. Okay, thanks. Thank you. Go ahead.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
My name is Gwen Nunes Gonzalez. Gwen Nunes Gonzalez. I am from the north side, Baylor, of Hopkins. First, I want to thank the commission for this engagement. I am happy that you are able to clarify your role as well, because I was told that your job was to identify the boundaries, and I had issues with that. So I'm glad for the clarification that you're getting information. So I want to ask the commission to seriously consider the information about the traditional use of spaces, because if the research is done properly, you'll know that there's certain areas on that side where people once were, but after a while, we move in different areas. I do not believe that any community should want another community for economic reasons, and I pray that the political will not supersede the rational thinking and the use of the space. I am not in agreement with the law, but it is there that the minister should have the final say. We have had problems with that. Problems with land because the minister has the final say. And moreover, if we do not connect to the past, then those who are the newcomers and the new users, the newcomer and the new users of the space will not have that understanding. And also, for us as Garifuna people, we don't only see land as land. Land is very sacred to us. We have our traditional practices that surround the land. So when we are being marginalized, it's very bothersome and disrespectful. And so as a people, we have to start to open our eyes and block ourselves from this UDP and PUP journey. It is not beneficial to us. Some people don't want to be a part of this free democracy because of their political party. But my people, the politicians, they don't live in our community. We are the ones suffering. So I want to ask the commission to please ensure that the submission that we have made is thoroughly understood, because research and research and research has gone into where we are today. Now, I would want to ask the learned gentleman if it's possible, because you're finished with the map and I'm still confused. I have no clarity, right? I want more clarity. Is it possible for you to show the map and show us the exactly the area that is being disputed? So we so that whole purple area is the disputed area. Okay. So city is saying that the whole area, that purple area, or part of it. The green, or the green dots. And those two greens. So there are three areas that are under dispute. Because I see 2 points, 2 green points. Oh.
So let me just say, let me just say it here at the farthest tip here. It says nearest location to City Point. Okay. Okay.
All right. Okay. According to this map, where city starts, where city ends, where Hopkins starts, that purple. So that's the clarity that I want. That's
I'm not the area of contention.
I know.
Okay, one second. Let me have Mr. Torres. I don't know if you want to respond to it.
It has the clarity of the space, so I want the clarity.
Okay, yeah. So let's have Mr. Torres respond to the question.
As I had mentioned before, this map does not define any village boundaries. Yes, this is just showing data that you are provided as the area that we refer to the contention area. When we visited the site here, the chairman from city said that they consider that their boundary starts there. That's it. Yes, but both village councils were there. When we went to Boom Creek, Chialiere said that they recognized this as their boundary. So that data that you all provided is, we put it together and we came up with the area of contention, not a village boundary. Is it clear now?
And if I just say something now, City River and Hopkins declare a
City River Village?
Okay, what, can we
This,
have,
this is not showing any village where City River. The chairman simply said that they recognizes their boundary here. And, all of this. That's what he's saying.
just join the line, if you have, if you
No,
have
no,
a
that's what I said.
question,
It's just
please
data
just
that
join
they
the line.
provide, that you guys provided.
Thank you, Mr. Torres.
Can you hear me?
Stand, you want to stand behind, just so we don't have an accident here. You could stand right behind. Right here, yes. And then you could turn,
My name is.
Can we, okay, so we have the other speaker, can we have some, can we focus on the other speaker? Go ahead, thanks.
Okay, my name is Cheryl Roland Nunez, and I am Belizean, and I live here in Hopkins.
Can you hear? Okay, can you speak up a little louder?
My name is Cheryl Roland Nunez. I live here in Hopkins. I'm married to a Hopkins man, and we live and work in the area of contention. I just want to say something because my background is in tourism and sustainable tourism, actually, and I want to talk about the financial part of it because that is a real part of it, and I can't talk about the other issues. Every single business in that area, I ask you to look them up. They all claim to be Hopkins businesses, every single one of them. Hamanasi, Belizean Dreams, Jaguar Reef, Parrot Cove, Beaches and Dreams, Luba Laruga, Happy Go Lucky Tours, Mangoes, Cosmopolitan Guest House, Black Orchid, Baha'i Fiesta, Caribbean Shores, Play Bar, Pause, Rainy Day Cafe, La Trattoria. The only business in that area that does not claim Hopkins is the City River Marina.